Hello, boys and girls, and happy Thursday. I hope you're well today, and I hope you're ready for another day's work of Number Corner, which I will give you a forewarning that you will be working independently today on a workbook page. So, before we get there, let's look and see what today's calendar piece looks like because we got a little bit of a shock yesterday when we kind of went through, talked about all of our calendar markers, figured out what the pattern was, and then all of a sudden we had a line segment. So I wonder what today's piece is going to look like. Let's see. Oh, very interesting. We're not going to put this on the current calendar grid recording sheet that we've been using. We're actually going to have a different one. You may remember me telling you that our pattern has changed, and so we're going to have a different way of recording what's happening. I will say we have two line segments here. They're joined by this point, and we do have an angle. What type of angle is it? Yes, it's an acute angle. Very good. Using those vocabulary terms. I'm so proud of you. That's awesome. Now let's update our calendar collector. We're going to spin. We got another 30 degrees. So if I go to my circle here, I see that I was at 122 degrees. And now I have to add 30 degrees to 122 degrees. So just to verify that, let me pull back up our chart here. Yep. So what is 30 plus 122? Where would I land? Right, 152. So here's my 30 degrees. I collected 31 degree angles, which means I now have 152 degrees. And just to test your memory of the new vocabulary term, or just a review of vocabulary terms that we've been talking about, how might you describe our new angle now that we are at 152 degrees? Right, it is an obtuse angle. So we're working with obtuse angles currently. We haven't gotten to our straight angle or our reflex angle yet, which is what we just learned about yesterday, the reflex angle. But we'll see. I wonder if we'll need a whole new circle by the end of this month. What do you think? I guess we'll find out shortly. Okay, now I want you to get out your Number Corner books and open it up to page 62. And here's where I'm going to say, have a great day to those of you who are really confident and you feel like you can do this workbook page all by yourself. Because it's all about multi-step problems and writing equations to match those problems. So if you feel confident, if you were able to do our first activity and our second activity fairly easily, then you may be well on your way to being able to work out these problems independently without my help. So good luck, and I will see you tomorrow, and we'll talk about these problems another time, okay? We will be going over them, just not today. So you're more than welcome to stop this video. If you, however, are still not quite confident in your ability to solve multi-step word problems or write equations, then I encourage you to stay with me because I am going to support you in solving these problems, but I'm not going to solve them for you. So you'll still have to do some work on your own. Now, it's important that you understand you're accountable for your learning because if you're getting off and you know you're having trouble, then shame on you. Miss Trammell is here to help. And if you're staying on and you know that you're able to do this on your own, then shame on you. You're just wasting your time because I'm still not going to give you any answers. All right? So let's get started. It says, read each question carefully, solve the problem, show your work using numbers, sketches, or words, and then write an equation for each question. So I'm going to read the first question for you. Follow along. Tyson and his sister, Eliza, are collecting items for an animal shelter. They want to donate 150 items. Tyson collected 6 packs of cat food with 12 cans in each pack. Eliza collected 8 boxes of toys with 7 toys in each pack. How many more items do they need to collect to get to 150? So I'm going to ask you, what is this problem all about? Yeah, they're collecting things. They have some cat food and they have some toys. And they need 150. So we need to figure out what? The total amount of cat food and toys, and then how many more we might need to get to 150. So we're actually going to go a little backwards when we're trying to solve this problem. And we're going to start with writing the equation. And when we write the equation, since this is a multi-step problem, we are going to write an equation for each step. Okay, are you with me? Then we'll use that to help us make an estimate before we actually solve the problem. So, we know we need 150 total. We know that. The first thing we know, the first set of information, is we know what? What about the cat food? There's 6 packs with 12 in each pack. So what operation would we be doing if we were to solve for how much cat food? 6 packs with 12 in each pack. What operation is that? Yeah, that's multiplication. So we would have 6 times 12 is going to give us, I'm going to label it C for cat food. That's the first part. But that's not all that there is to this problem. My job in helping you guys who may still need some support with solving these multi-step problems and writing the equation is to show you a different way that we can write it. We can write an equation for each step and then put them together. Okay, so what's the next part? What about the toys? What operation is that? Yeah, that's also multiplication. We have 8 boxes with 7 in each pack. So I'll be like 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. We can multiply 8 times 7. So we have 8 times 7, which is going to give us the amount of toys. You guys with me so far? Awesome. And then, what do we have to do? We need to find out how many items that is together, right? So I'm going to write an equation that doesn't look very helpful right now, but it's going to be C plus T equals however many items that we have now. And maybe I'll say current items. Are we good with that? We need to figure out C and we need to figure out T in order to figure out our current items. And our current items, then what do we do with that? Yeah, we need to figure out what plus that equals 150. So maybe I could say C plus T plus question mark should equal 150. Maybe that looks a little bit better. Are we good with that? Okay, so go ahead and make an estimate then for this problem. Estimate. We can estimate 6 times 12, even though we probably know the answer to that. Will be about 60, okay? 8 times 7, maybe we just know 8 times 7 is 56. So we have 60 and 56, which is 116, so really close to 120 if we were rounding. And 150 minus 120 is about 30. So our estimate could be about 30 more items. Now, I want you to pause this video and actually solve it. Or you can continue with me. We're going to talk about problem number 2, and then you will have time to work on actually solving the problems yourself. Okay? All right. So number 2, Zoe made mini cupcakes for a party. She had a rectangular tray with an 8 by 12 array of cupcakes on it. If 32 people were at the party, how many cupcakes could each person have if they shared them equally? Go ahead and say that problem in your own words, or restate it to make sure you understand what's happening. All right, so we got 32 people at a party. She has a cupcake tray that's an 8 by 12. How many can each person get, right? Okay, so when we're solving this backwards, we're going to write an equation for each step. Now, unlike before, you still have to write a complete equation. I didn't help you with that. I just helped you with the step-by-step piece, and then you should be able to put it all together, okay? So that's what we're going to do down here, step by step. Well, if there's an 8 by 12 array, that suggests to us we are doing multiplication, right? That is the amount of cupcakes. So I can label it C for cupcakes. We good there? Okay, and then it says 32 people are sharing, or 32 people are there. How many cupcakes could each person have? If you're sharing, what operation is that? Division. Yeah. So I would have to take 32 divided by my how many cupcakes I have, which is going to tell us how many cupcakes each person can have. I like labeling equations. That really helps me think about it. Do we think we got every part of the question? I think so. So 8 times 12 is about, and I wrote my equation backwards. I'll tell you how I figured that out in just a second. 8 times 12 is about 80, because 8 times 10 is 80. So it wouldn't make sense if I had 32 divided by 80. I'd get a number that was a decimal, or a number less than 1. So I'm actually taking my 80 cupcakes, or I should say cupcakes, and I'm dividing them into 32 groups. So I know how many groups I have. I'm trying to figure out how many could go into each group. Okay? You see how I figured that out the more I thought about it? Well, let's estimate. If I have 80 and I'm sharing with 32 people, we estimate each person should be able to get probably not 3, because 3 times 30 is 90. And that would be more than the 80 that we have estimating here. Okay, so maybe 2. 2 cupcakes each. Okay, so here's what you guys need to do. You need to now go and solve this problem for the actual answer. And after you get the actual answer, you need to write a complete equation, much like what you see when you look back at what we've done here and even what we've done here, which means you're probably going to have to use some parentheses to show what needs to be done first. All right, do you think you can handle that now? All right, I want to see what you got. So this is the end of the video for you as well. I am counting on you to work hard and think about what we just talked about. Look back at your other pages if necessary so you can work through these problems, and we will talk about them and the answers you got next time. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.